if you got...
Jim, I can't talk right now. I'm playing WoW, so if you could just try to keep it quiet, that'd be great.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to another episode of Server Restart In. It is a weekly... It is... God damn.
I'm sorry.
It's something.
It's a weekly World of Warcraft podcast hosted by three opinionated players who like to get together to discuss their thoughts about the current state of the game. My name is Jim. I am joined by Kristen.
Hello.
And Brian.
Hi, Jim.
Hi. And we are just over a week of 10.1 being out. There is quite a bit to do. New story, a little bit came out today. Or I'm sorry, Tuesday. The second part, there's like one chapter left, and I think that's after the raid's over kind of thing. Because
Like an epilogue.
probably, yeah. So the story's been pretty interesting. The whole thing with Sibelian and Rathian is getting kind of old. Like, there's all this, like, back and forth, like, bickering between them and stuff. And then, spoilers if you haven't done the story, but after Sibelian got hit by the Shadow Flame and all that stuff, it almost seems like he's a bit more of a dick when they were fighting for Rock in the Caldera. So I don't know if he's been, even though they healed him and stuff like that, that maybe he is a little bit corrupted, or he's probably a little bit more susceptible to it anyway, since he was initially a follower of Deathwing.
My character between the levels of 65 and 69 have gotten doused with it the last couple of days in that little event, so...
You're also a warlock.
And I notice he's kind of being kind of a prick too.
He's gonna be the final raid boss.
You think Sibelian is?
I don't know.
No, he's too Chad. People like.
Well,
people like him.
It's interesting, right?
What?
Because he was part of the flight that went with Deathwing to Outlands, right? So he already suffered some of the corruption and broke free.
Was that actually a part? What story was that a part of prior to
Edge Mountain?
He was actually out there?
Yes.
Huh.
He's in a human form.
I remember the Dragonflight people being like some kind of Dragonflight people being out there, like the forest spot, maybe.
Kind of.
No, that was Earthen Ring.
It's in Blade's Edge, and there's like this whole story behind it, and it's just like.
Was it by Gruul?
Well, I mean, that's part of it, right? They fought, like, the whole thing is, like, part of Gruul, yeah, because, like, Gruul was killing them and stuff, so...
I didn't initially remember him being...
I didn't either. I had to look him up.
There. Well, I say I never could... I probably would have never, because it's such a... That part of Outland is so, like,
removed.
Skippable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're leveling, right? It's Hellfire Peninsula, some Zanger Marsh, and, it's like, you just blow through it, It wasn't, on the normal track unless you were doing completionist stuff, and I haven't done that in a long time.
Okay, completionist, man.
Brian?
How are you going to sit there and say that you're not a completionist type of person? With your...
Kind of.
Go ahead.
I'm not. But, no, so... It's a pretty good story. They got the new Slither Drake dragon riding mount is out with this stuff, and apparently they're escaped experiments from Aberrus or something like that. So
the mount is?
Yeah, like that species.
How do you get it?
You do the story.
Oh.
You just do like
it?
Yep, that's it. And they just give you the mount.
In this part?
Yeah. Like, you have to do up to entering the raid, like that storyline that leads to the raid, following Sethark or whatever his name is and whatnot. So yeah, you just kind of get it, which is fine. You know, it's not, you know, I mean, that's how you got the other ones, right? You did the story and they were just given to you.
Yeah, no, I thought it was going to be a hidden mount or something.
No, but this one is Black Flight related because, you know, they all kind of were related to different flights. Like the Waking Shore was kind of like the red flight. And
oh, so you can't recolor it?
No. You can, but like the initial coloring is like black scales kind of thing.
Right.
Whereas
yeah,
like,
because recoloring is just like spray painting, basically.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah. You know, it's like going to the chop shop in old school Grand Theft, yeah. To disguise your vehicle. I just thought about that.
And getting your Drake repainted, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, you build up 5 stars. Shit. You gotta go through the shop.
Oh, man. Dude, that was awesome. That's the first thing I thought about. That's great.
Yeah, so the new zone's pretty cool. I like the cavern, the flying around in the cavern. You know, the Niffen are whatever. We still haven't come to a determination of their accent.
That's funny because I didn't spend enough time. I didn't spend enough time to try to judge it.
Well, maybe you should spend some more time.
Hold on. I'm gonna do it now. Niffen, sniffin,
Niffen,
sniffin, sniffin.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna do it right now.
Do what?
Don't you worry, I got this. I'm gonna listen to it, Jim.
Listen to them sniffing you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Smell you later.
No.
It varies between them.
I just want to mace them when they do that.
Okay. It's a bit of a violent reaction.
I mean, they're sniffing with me without my consent. Come on.
Well, you said Scottish last week, didn't you?
No, I said like
Didn't
Wisconsin. Like northern Midwest. Like sometimes you get like a don't you know kind of like vibe off of it. I do anyway. And it depends on which one you talk to.
That is so New England.
What? Wait, we got Southern, Northern Midwestern, and now New England. He's not like, hey, I'm sniffing over here.
Hold on. Hey, what the fuck are you doing? I'm trying to sniff.
Hey, yo, watch, I'm sniffing here.
Hey, I got the keys to my car. Oi. What? That's not right.
Oh my God. No, that was not right, Brian.
Okay. So I heard one kind of normal. Then another one that sounded very New England-ish. And that one for sure sounded New Yorker. Like, because it's like New England, but then like super eat a pizza, I'm gonna murder you type of accent.
Hey, yo, I'm gonna get some za and I'm gonna fucking ice you.
I'm in the mob and I got this pizza place too. I don't fucking know what I'm talking about. I've never been to New York. I've never been outside of my own home most of the time, so I'm a turd. Well, that's definitely.
I think that some of them have different ones, and maybe they're just different. Maybe they're randomized across game clients. So that
maybe everybody hears something different.
They adjust to your locale.
I will tell you, I did not hear any New England.
I don't think I did either.
I think that's the one thing Jim and I can both agree on when it comes to the accents. Is neither one of us.
Your VPN into Alabama, please. Do not.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
I can say that I was born in Alabama and raised near it anyways. So shut up. Yeah, I don't maybe you're right because Wisconsin I was deployed overseas with a bunch of Wisconsin people and I love that cheese accent, man. It is incredible. It's awesome.
I think it depends on which character it is that you're talking to.
No, you're right. I heard ones that were fine, and then other ones had a little bit of zing to them, whatever that accent is. But I can't.
I don't think they have a definitive one.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. So, let's see.
Sniffins be biffin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Niffen be sniffing. You're biffing. Peter
Biffin
Griffin.
them sniffing.
Oh my god.
So
Yay.
there's your New England right there.
Oh, it is. That's true.
Is there a Peter Niffen in the? Is that who you were? Is that the character's name? Peter Niffen.
You're right. Peter Niffen. There better be.
I don't think there is. That'd be great though.
I mean, there is a Peter Niffen, but it is not in WoW. There's a Tom Niffen that works at Missouri State University.
Okay, well, that's fantastic. So LFR came out this week. It's the first 3 bosses.
Oh yeah.
It was pretty fun as DPS.
What bosses are those?
The first boss is something the Hell Drake or something like that. So he flies in and he's like this shadow flame looking thing, and he kills everything. He lands and then molten metal just like clings to him, almost like an Iron Man suit, and then hardens into like armor.
Dude, that's awesome.
It's a pretty cool little boss intro or entrance kind of thing, and the fight was pretty easy. I don't know what the
is that the Kazara?
Yeah, the first one, okay. That's the one that the skin can drop for your Drake. For the rostrum, you can get like the appearance of that one, kind of like you could get Razageth.
Oh, cool!
Yeah, it's every difficulty except for Mythic has it as an extremely rare drop. Meaning it can drop, but not likely. So
Mythic is guaranteed?
I don't think it's guaranteed. It's on the loot table though, and it's not listed as extra or extremely rare. Which I don't know what the difference is between it. But it's a neat looking thing, and it's kind of cool to doing that. They're not, so
yeah,
and the fact that you can get it at the other difficulties, it is nice, but so that was that one. There was the Shadow Flame boss, where you fight a Shadow Elemental, a Fire Elemental, till about 50%, and then they become one, and you fight them.
Amalgamation Chamber.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yep.
Oh.
So
that one was annoying because that's the one where if you take damage, you get a stacking.
Yeah. So it's a switch one. So you're supposed to fight. You split the raid between the two ones, and then at a certain, if you get your debuffs high enough, you swap to do the other one. So that way you can, drop the debuff while you're swap. It's a debuff swap one, and then the Fireside's got a soak mechanic. The other one, I guess, just has a don't stand in the puddle mechanic. And when they combine, they have another meteor mechanic that you're supposed to soak. And I died because nobody soaked it. It was just me and the tanks, and we just got smashed. But
yeah, nobody was soaking in my group.
Which sucks because you need to split the damage. But I think this is an extremely doable fight. And the last one was like the failed experiment or something like that. And it's like a 3-phase fight with 3 different failed experiments that you fight. Nothing super crazy about it, but it went pretty well, So it kind of got me a little bit excited for, our raid day coming up Sunday, maybe, if people are around, because apparently it's Mother's Day and I forgot.
Oh, no, you did.
I did. But so we've been diving into the keys. It's interesting how they've redone the way the affixes work.
Vortex Pinnacle is awful.
Yeah.
Wow, if you're listening, Blizzard, if you're listening, Vortex Pinnacle is awful. It is bad.
They had didn't they have 2 different dungeons there? What was that?
Vortex
was the only one?
And there was the one in the pyramid, right?
No, it was a raid, I think.
There's the raid.
Oh.
There's the Throne of Wind or something like that.
The Pinnacle one is where you go in and then you got to circle down, right?
Yeah, and it's got the Healy dragons, and it's got the boss at the end that draws the lightning triangle. And you have to stand in it.
Yep. I remember that.
So that they tweaked some of the things, and so
Wait, is this first time for Cataclysm stuff?
Yeah, for Mythic.
Wow.
I don't think there were any other ones for Mythic Keys. I'm trying to think of what. Because Throne.
What was in the last rotation?
It was the one. It was Panda, 2 Legion ones, and then
Miss. Did you ever say that?
Warlords, because it was Shadow Moon Burial Ground.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
So this is the first Cattle one. There's a Cattle one,
A BFA one.
a BFA one,
2 BFA ones.
Which one?
2 BFA ones.
Yeah. Freehold and
Freehold and
Underrot.
Underrot.
Yeah.
We talked about that. Never mind. Yeah, that was
The Underrot wasn't bad.
Underrot wasn't bad.
Really?
They changed.
No.
They
They made it easier.
They nerfed Underrot a lot because they changed a lot of the packs, so you don't have to interrupt as much because it was super heavy on interrupts, and so they've reduced that, so you're not having to worry about that so much. We kind of blew through that one. Freehold's not bad.
Freehold. Freehold was fun.
The problem with Freehold is that if you did it on keys back in the day, it's slightly different. You don't have to do the same things. You don't have to find the dog to steal the key.
That's a good thing.
It is.
That's a good thing.
It is, but it means that the memories of the paths are different, right? It's like you're like, oh, we go this way and do it this way and stuff, but that doesn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's a good thing, though.
It's changed up, so you can't just like do it the way you used to do it. You have to kind of fix it a little bit. The boss fights are pretty much the same. You just got to get used to the second one with the 2 pirates. You don't have to find the hat so that the other guy's your friend.
Oh,
Yeah, that was much better.
that was annoying.
That is a nice change.
Yeah.
That's a nice change.
I think Vortex Pinnacle is really bad though. Like 4 mechanics on that second boss, on the dragon boss, in a tiny little spot. There's 4 mechanics.
But that dungeon back in the day though, that was like one of the hardest bosses though.
Yeah, and
You're talking about that's because him blowing you
added
off, right?
mechanics to it is what I'm saying though. And now there's 4 mechanics in that small little area. It's a shitty feeling boss.
Yeah, you got the wind.
Wasn't there something before that would block off the area? Because you're in the square with the pylons, right, on the edges.
Yeah, it's a circle,
And
but yeah.
he did the wind thing.
And there was a bunch of
And then,
tornadoes.
wasn't there something he put down?
There was
was
a
it tornadoes?
bunch of tornadoes. Now there's only 5 tornadoes, 5 or 6 or something like that. The wind is, they changed the look of it, so it's not like this whole big gust thing, but it's like lines going by. So I guess it might be easier
It's
to
not
determine
hard
the
to-
way it's going, because the other way it used to be, it was almost like a low fog was blowing across the screen,
Yeah.
which made it
Yeah.
kind of difficult. And then now he does a thing called downdraft, which targets an area near him, does a burst there, you can't be in it, and then a circle spreads out. And if you get hit by that circle, you take damage and get silenced, so you have to use the tornadoes to jump you over the line as it goes by.
Or just be a druid and
Oh.
pre-hot everybody and
And
laugh.
take the silence, but
Yeah.
well, that'll work for
Yeah, I know.
low level,
I
but-
know, yeah.
and then like the outside rim has like ice on it, so you can't really stand in it without taking a bunch of damage.
Oh yeah, or dying
Oh,
because I did that.
interesting.
Yeah, so they've changed it. It's not as it's not like it used to be. So
Not my Vortex Pinnacle.
oh my god.
Jim said it like in a grandpa way though,
He
for
did.
sure.
I did?
Hi, sons of bitches. This ain't my goddamn.
I didn't even say it. She said it's not my
You
vortex.
said it just
Pinnacle.
like that, Jim.
Just
I literally
like
just
that.
yeah, exactly.
Just like that.
And you said get off my lawn. I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, at least we know what the title of the episode's going to be. Get off my lawn.
What?
Get off
No,
my
No,
lawn.
it's gonna be not my Vortex Pinnacle.
No.
not my Vortex.
Not my Vortex Pinnacle.
So
Not the Vortex Pinnacle I remember.
that's great, and so we're like a week and a half into 10.1, and they've already got an announcement for like the dev stuff for 10.15.
Yeah.
The midway or the mini content patch that's coming out
And
this summer.
please, let's talk about the first thing that's most important,
The
please.
most important thing.
Warlock classes or races.
No.
Oh,
What?
are we talking?
He's
What
like, no.
are you talking about?
The dragons.
What
Dragon
you-
bards.
You're talking
No,
about?
hold on.
Dragon
Let me scroll.
Dragon bards.
Why does it say Dragon Riding Kalimdor in bold Grand Prix?
That's not in their.
I don't give a
What?
fuck, Jim. It's on MMO Champion. There's three
Dragon-
fucking sites
It
you can
wasn't
look
in
at.
their post.
Dragon
Oh,
riding
Jim,
what?
I don't care. Maybe
Kalimdor
they data mine something.
Grand Prix. I don't see
Do
anything.
you see it, or we link it?
You took a screenshot, a shitty screenshot of a post.
Yeah, it was intentional, Jim. Man, why are you so upset, Jim? God,
You want to
please.
talk about something that I have no idea about that you found on a different website that's not. Wow.
Oh, don't even. No, they've been around since like the very beginning. Hold
Can
your
I
flipping horses.
just say it's probably unintentional, but I like the White Snake reference for the quest that I'm on now to continue the thing. Here we go again. Like my brain surprised or supplied the on my own.
Is that White Snake?
That is White Snake. Yes.
I think I posted it in the wrong chat. Hold on. Chat. There you go.
Here I go again on my own. It's I mean it's not. I just heard that it's not a White Snake reference. But,
Right.
I mean that's what I heard when I saw the quest. I was like,
Yeah. So
White Snake.
they have it there, but I don't see anything that indicates it.
I know, Jim, but that doesn't mean that we can't. There's a
know.
somebody put that there for a reason.
Sure, somebody
Yeah.
put that there for a reason, but
It's there.
I'm just trying to
Jim,
see.
the reason for the season is pleasing.
Okay. I'm looking and I don't see.
But it says
any-
dragon riding and Kalimdor in the same not sentence
So-
phrase thingy, whatever.
That-
I mean, think of the possibilities right off the top of your head.
Oh no, it's on the roadmap. Never mind. Dragon riding. It's a dragon riding event. So
Wait, what?
So if you look on the roadmap picture, if you scroll down, it says dragon riding event Kalimdor Grand Prix. So it is in the roadmap.
So they're gonna start putting things throughout the world.
So I haven't done any of like the group dragon riding races. You know how like they have those right now? There's just going to be
No.
spots. You don't know about that?
No.
Like each zone has like a group dragon riding thing. There's one by the first rostrum. After you first get the dragon riding, you have to fly to that other area and you learn about the races and the rostrum and the glyphs in the very first
Okay.
zone. There is a race over
Oh,
there.
I see it. Yeah, the rally.
Yeah, so that's kind of probably what that is. They're
Shit.
probably going to have them all over the world in different places. I mean, why not? It's like they're probably going to design them, and you can go there and queue for it and do it, and maybe get like some stuff. That's cool,
That's cool.
I mean, that's crazy if it's gonna be on the other world, though, right? Like,
right? It's probably going to be instanced, would be my guess.
You think?
Maybe because
yeah, they're
because
assholes.
they're not going to want
so
you to
probably.
dragon ride everywhere out there, right? Because you can't now. So, I mean, they do.
Well,
like,
that's what my
Yeah,
excitement
do.
was.
they do. They
They do.
there exists currently anti-mount zones, right? No ground mounts allowed here, kind of thing.
No
I mean,
ground
so
mounts allowed.
no ground mounts allowed. Or Snoopy.
Ah.
But
Nobody's
so,
gonna
but
get
I'm
that.
saying that they could invert that into only dragon riding mounts allowed. You know what I mean? In a certain area, which if you fly out of it, does it just dismount you and you just fall to your doom?
Doom, doom,
It
doom.
launches you.
I mean, I don't ever
That
fall to
would
my
be
doom
awesome.
because of flap,
Oh.
but
Yeah.
but I do often still fall to my doom, even though I have flap.
Yeah, I do when I mount up on the wrong kind of mount in Dragonland zones and fall because it's not a dragon riding mount. That happens.
Because you're not fapping.
Yeah, because I'm not flapping.
Flapping, sorry.
Yep. So.
Can we just talk about how cool it is that I'm a night elf?
No. Moving on.
Brian.
You're killing him.
Dying.
Can I also just talk about how annoying it is that I can't queue for any content with my guildies because Blizzard made it so you can't do any queued for instant content with
They really
your
hampered
guild.
the shit out of it, didn't they?
It's unbelievable to me. Here, play with your friends, but don't play with your friends because
Don't get me wrong. Like, I totally do not support it. Like, I play both sides, but I mean, if I'm on the side, I'm going to play that side. So fuck Alliance. But
I think
don't care.
it's really weird that they did all that work and then like it's just not.
Well,
it's terrible.
It's a hack. It seems like a hacky thing.
Yes!
And maybe that's the case. Like, maybe it's so complicated that they wanted to get something initially out and then work towards opening it completely up.
I think that's what it is.
I think it's terrible. I think they did a
I
terrible.
think that
it was a
they
terrible
also suck
implementation.
the life out of the game too in any way they can. And I can reinforce that point soon. So I don't doubt that they just said, well, we fucking hate everybody and so we're going to do it. So fuck you.
I think that everything is so dependent on faction right now that it's really hard to untangle it all. And they're doing it a little bit at a time, making sure things don't break as they implement new stuff. And I mean, because they went pretty fast from cross-faction groups to cross-faction guilds, right? I mean, you're talking end of Shadowlands to now.
No, it's impressive. I mean, I imagine that they probably had a lot of that done and they're just waiting to kick it into gear. But even still, I don't remember what I was looking at, though, that when I glanced at someone's name, there was something that immediately struck me like, oh, that's so weird. Yeah, it just labels Alliance. You can't do outdoor and queued content. Yeah, I think it was the outdoor thing.
I mean,
And so, like, the first thing that came to mind was like the time that you guys did the Newtown PvPing stuff
Yeah.
on a
Newtown.
whim.
Yeah.
And it's like, shit, you can't do that anymore. And it's
No.
like, just let them defect already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that would have been
Let's go
the
2 for 2
cooler,
this conversation.
more
Consecutive.
elegant solution would be to do that.
You know what? Putting defection in would have allowed for them to keep the faction conflict alive.
Yes.
If that's fuck, EverQuest 2, I know for a fact had defection. Now, granted,
Did they?
oh yeah, it was a huge fucking quest line to do it. And I think depending on the class, sometimes you had to change classes to the equivalent.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because I think it was like a Dark Knight and a different thing. I vaguely remember it, but I know that it was super long and involved, right? And then
It is funny because I never considered like keeping that storyline alive too. I mean, because there should always be some sort of conflict there. Like, it's just never. It's not going to magically overnight become a happy-go-lucky world.
I mean, we're talking what, 10, 15 years of in-game time.
Well, and not to mention that we were talking about before, like, if they want to keep the story alive, they got to bring shit back down to Earth. You know,
yeah,
plenty years
as Earth,
right? Down to Earth, yeah, as Earth. And one of the ways to do that is to keep those stories alive, and you could tell a lot of stories through that type of conflict, right? Even like stories that are parallel to, fucking McJawmouth. What was his name?
Huh?
Garrosh.
Oh, Garrosh. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. It's cinematic and
Yellow
God,
Jaws.
the
and
shitty
the shit that
fucking
he-
cinematic and goddamn whatever the
Yeah.
dungeon was.
Slight
Great.
reflection on 9.1 because my son has been talking about 9.1 and how shit it was by comparison to 10.1.
I mean,
But point being, like,
9 was shit compared to 10.
no, that's
or
true.
8,
Yeah, but 9.1 was
so.
really bad. That was really bad. But no, like the point is, like, there is a lot of good story they could tell, right? And really, some of the best small stories are of that level. It's not the cosmic insanity, blah, 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 bullshit, right? And they want to anchor a storyline for a long time and have people engaged. They should really be telling the stories, and that could drive a lot of it. So them not doing something like that is really kind of screwing them over too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see. I mean,
and how badass would it be to go raid the Alliance with X-Alliance?
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm telling you.
we could go in this way. I have an in.
I know the secret door.
Yeah, right? Like, come on now.
Like Anduin defects, and then we use him.
Yeah.
There's a whole nother dimension of storytelling we could do.
This is what happens. This is how it's going to happen.
Oh, no, hold on. Wait. No. Stormwind fully defects with Anduin.
No.
And then we go burn down whatever new tree they planted.
Anduin and Sylvanas fall in love in the Maw.
Oh my God, no.
And get married and start a third faction.
No. Anduin is reserved for Rathian.
Jesus fucking Christ.
The whole dragon thing throws me off. Like, I'm not sure. Like, what if he... Let's not go there. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird. Why is
we
it
could
weird?
if we want to. What if you can't control your dragon shifting ring? Like,
that sounds like a good time, right? Like,
or a deadly time.
Jesus Christ, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I would say I'm split on the idea.
Oh God, how dare you? How fucking dare you? Moving on. So there is a new mega dungeon coming out in 10.1.5. It is the 8-boss mythic only dungeon. It is called Dawn of the Infinite. And it is about the infinite dragonflight trying to achieve their goal of getting Nozdormu to change to Mirazond.
But, Jim, are they going to do it like they did in Mechagon?
In what regard?
Mechagon could have had, again, yet a deep fucking story, and they turned it into a dungeon.
Well,
please do not tell me anything we're diving into Bronze Dragonflight wise is just going to be put a bow on with a dungeon.
So here's the thing, right? 10.5 or 10.1.5 is called Fractures of Time, which means that this is kind of where it's starting. So there's going to be kind of like a Tassavesh, right? Had story related to it that kind of spilled into the Zereth Mortis kind of stuff. You know, because the guy was trying to get the powers at the end and all that stuff. So I have a feeling it's going to be part of the story, not the end of it. Right? It's just going to be another part.
Oh yeah, no, and that's a good point. And yeah, I definitely just meant like that thread of the overall story for sure.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be the end, but you know, so that's going to be in there. You're going to fight Iridikron, which I think is the guy that Chromie was, or whichever the bronze one was chasing through the time, and we had to go through, and you get into like Lord Loroth
Isn't that
or whatever.
Transformer?
Iridikron? Not
Sounds like a Transformer.
Yeah. But I think that's the one that was him and Chromie were locked in time, following through the things. We went to the Azeroth that was all Murlocs and stuff like that.
Wait, that's the one that did Dormu. He's the one say get the fuck out of here, don't come back.
Yeah, I think that's who that one is.
Okay,
I think I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've done that story. But there's also going to be time rifts, which is, you know, there's going to be. It says the time streams that become a bit more unstable with recent events and the boundaries between the timelines weaken. Minions from those timelines begin to make their way to Azeroth. So we have to do time rifts, push back against minions, plug the hole, blah, blah, blah. So new events. There's going to be one called Eon's Fringe, which is another like repeatable content for doing stuff in the time ways and resolving stuff. So it's probably going to be, I would say something similar. Have you done any of the digs in Loam, where you talk to the Niffen
No.
and he takes you to a little puzzle room and you have to use him to solve the puzzle kind of thing? It's almost like
I saw a video about it, but I haven't played through it yet.
Which, let me tell you, pretty fucking fun.
It is not bad.
It's
awesome.
it's a nice little thing. It's not, I have to do this. It's like I get to do this.
Good.
And it's just like you find a map. Ooh, cool. Which way am I gonna go now? And it's like you get to kind of think about the puzzles a little bit. It's not like super complicated, but
But it requires a little bit of effort.
yeah, thought, trial, and what's the fucking phrase? Trial and error. Wow.
Did you do the Frostfire one?
We had the fire,
key?
the spinning fire, and
Yeah.
the spinning. Yeah, I did that one.
Yeah, I did that one. That one took me a while. I was like, I don't know what the fuck
Half
I'm
the time
doing.
you can't see the keys that you need to get,
Yeah.
especially if they're in plain sight. So that's going to be around. There's going to be a new whelp daycare. So there's that little Scales daycare in Valdraken. Apparently, did you just fucking quack at me? You're laughing, but you're muted.
I know. I'm sorry. I muted I muted the cough, and I saw this icon. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I look at it, and I'm like, huh, that's interesting. All right, there you go.
What the fuck?
The little things in Discord that you can do, like little sounds.
I didn't
Yeah.
notice that you
Do you
could
think that ruins the podcast, Jim?
I don't give a shit. It's fun.
I didn't realize there was. Why are there sounds in Discord?
That's awesome.
Oh, that's a good one. That one needs to
I don't know if it's coming through or not. So
stay. Okay.
We'll see.
We'll see.
it may, but if it is, it's staying in.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's 5 dragon whelps that you get to help grow and learn about the dragonflies, and you get
Dragon
renowned
fries.
dragonflies.
Dragon fries.
Dragon
You gotta get
fries.
inside of dragonflies.
I love me some dragon fries.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, that was good.
I don't like this new feature, Discord. Warlocks are getting the class is going to be expanded to some new races. So Night Elves, the 2 Draenei, the
I
2
wish-
Tauren, Koltiran, Pandaren, Mag'har Orcs, and Zandalari Trolls will
I-
be able to be.
Wish they would do it for druids. I know why they're not, and druids will probably be the last because they'll probably be the hardest because they have to do all the art for all the forms.
Yep.
and Blah
Dude,
blah blah. But
Have
I
you
wanna be a
listened
Draenei
to
druid?
the Taliesin and Evitel stuff lately at all?
Nope.
No.
They
I haven't
haven't-
listened to them in
he had
years.
some- He had some really good comments on like what a Mechagone becoming using the druid class without having to fit into the lore. And it was I'm like, holy shit, that is awesome. I never thought about it that way. But it's essentially like it's kind of like the I don't know if the goblins probably still follow the shaman lore, right? But imagine the totems, right? Where you had a totem normally, they have like the drills and all that stuff, right?
Yeah,
It's
like
just a
mechanical
different thing.
totems. Yeah.
Yeah, but like in the Mechanomes case, like they could have the same types of magic that are but their like forms and stuff are more like they form into a mechanical.
It's kind of like the Koltiran
Yeah.
druids, right? They have like the
Well,
wicker
but
beasts.
they're locked in. They're locked in the lore, though, right? Like they have some lock into the lore.
Yes.
Yeah,
But I mean,
and they make a
so-
lot more sense. They're like well more threaded into the elements and all
Yeah.
that other shit, magic, natural, blah blah blah, blah whatever.
the
But
tra-
the stuff like Mechanomes, where it's like no fucking way,
the
actually like sounded
the-
really
the
badass.
two
They could
person
make themselves little mech things that they get in.
That's what-
and
That's
yeah.
what he's saying. Like
Oh, okay,
they
yeah.
would like turn into like a mech cat or mech bear or something, but
Well-
all their stuff would be translated through like what the druid class actually is. But it's not like druid magic type stuff. It fits the shell of the class,
right.
right? In the same way,
Well-
which is really interesting.
well, wow,
it's like
doesn't-
skinning. It's almost like a skinning the whole class, right? With them skinning, skinning skins, right? Like putting the dark ranger stuff onto hunters.
Yep.
But in this case, like, I mean, I thought it was awesome when I heard it because I'm like, oh, that sounds stupid because of lore, but no, it really actually was.
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, you could make it fit, but I don't know. Blizzard hasn't really done anything where people are posing as one class, but like the lore behind it is like they're doing it. Well, no, that's not true. The first ones to fucking do it were the goddamn Blood Elf Paladins. They were paladins.
Oh, you're right.
But they
You're
didn't
right.
use the light.
I mean,
they used the Sunwell and all that shit. And they used the fucking corrupted.
And
yeah.
they even had one spell that shared the same position, but was different.
Yeah. The blood,
right?
The seal, right? The blood seal.
Yeah, it was some seal that was
seal
different
of blood.
on Alliance versus
Yes.
Horde. Yeah.
And on Horde, it was better. Seal of blood. Yeah.
Yeah, it was better on Horde.
It was better on Horde. Yeah.
But so
yeah,
there
no,
is,
you're right. I mean,
so there is precedence for it. So maybe, who knows?
Yeah. Dude, I'm sorry, but that is exactly the way they should do it. Exactly right there, right? They find the way. Same with undead paladins. I'm sorry, but they could easily slot those in a heartbeat.
Well, they've already set the stage for that with Kaliel Menthal.
No,
becoming
you're wrong.
Being rezzed
You're
by
wrong.
the light. What are you
You're
talking
wrong.
about?
I'm telling you, you're wrong because they fucking hate undead and they will never do anything for them.
I'm not saying that they won't or they will.
Oh, sure. Well, okay. So they opened the end of the thread and it's ready to be going further, but then they tossed it in the back closet of the basement.
Sure. But I mean, you have, okay, so Paladins call on the
Well, at
light.
least we have heritage armor. I guess that's one good thing going for us. Oh, hold on.
God damn it. So here's the thing,
good.
right?
I like that. Yay.
Priests, or undead have priests. Priests use holy magic.
No, I'm
Paladins
well
are
aware.
holy in the light and all that
Yeah.
stuff. It's right there, right? And
You
have-
think they would just fucking do it, but
but it was
I don't know.
antithetical to whatever they were doing back in the day, and they just haven't got around to it. So,
well,
yep,
at least pandas can be warlocks. I guess that's important.
yeah, because that makes sense. So, there's one big thing we haven't talked about yet for the 10.15, and that's the new.
There's at least two. Oh man, we're already on to the next patch. I didn't talk about my stuff earlier.
Oh, no, talk about your stuff.
Oh, I was gonna say the I don't know if anybody else was playing leveling characters, but
A little bit.
I went to, what's the dragon's name that you fight on the event up top? Ah shit, is it on the
Fighting where?
map? I'm not playing the game. Disagree
Barak?
me. There you go. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, he's the the incarnate, the fire dude.
Yeah. So that was introduced in 10.1
Yep.
and it dropped 379 green gear, and then it dropped a few, like I think 389 maybe
Sure.
blue gear. I don't remember. Something like that. And then a few 402 or something.
Yeah, like the
epic
champion
pieces.
armaments or whatever, or veteran.
Yep. And then so yeah, no, I loaded up, I got all geared up, and I'm like, oh damn, dude, I'm like 66 and I'm wearing 379. Dude, this is crazy. I'm critting like 60k, all kinds of fun stuff. And then earlier today, when I was on my lunch and I was playing Blizzard, no, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know. One of these days I was playing, in the middle of it, my armor died. And then I looked at my item level and it decreased to like 160. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I repaired and it didn't fix it. And I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't actually notice the item level immediately, but I tried to repair it. And then, yeah, sure as shit, they decided to, I guess, turn on the level requirement for these greens. And so, yeah, I got a bag full of shit I can't wear until I turn 70 now.
That sucks.
But I was rocking it for at least a level, 2 levels.
Did they
man.
take it off of you?
No, I was still wearing it, but it was all like it was
like broken. It was red.
all-
It was red.
all broken. Yeah,
Oh, that's
it was red, but it
stupid.
wasn't actually broken.
Right. It's just.
But it was
wasn't-
weird because I was in the middle of playing too, and it happened. So
That's messed up.
It is pretty fucking messed up. They should have just fucking
really-
left it. It's not that big a deal.
It's
Who
really
gives a
not.
shit? You know.
well, that's the thing though, is that I want to say that event was probably bugged because I feel like it just kept going and dropping shit, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna sit here and keep going because I'm
Oh.
having fun.
You son of a bitch.
Like greens though, it wasn't dropping like
Right.
Right.
really great stuff, but like
Right.
I got almost a full set of greens at 379, and it says Explorer 2 out of 8, so like I can upgrade it quite a bit. So I don't know. I was just kind of irritated because I'd already disenchanted my other stuff or sold it, and so I had to go buy a whole bunch of gear, crap gear. I still don't have a ring because I'm missing one, unfortunately. So
that sucks.
But yeah, but it was cool. It was fun for a minute. That was really cool.
Yeah, they should have just fucking left it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like, or change the gear or something. I don't fucking know.
Or just get out of the business and let somebody buy you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Which, by the way, it looks like next week that whatever the EU is gonna okay or stop their blockage on the Microsoft acquisition of Activision. So
really?
Yeah, they had put a block on it because they're like, what about cloud gaming?
What about it?
I don't know. They're like, none of your stuff addresses cloud gaming. And you're going to have a monopoly on cloud gaming. And it's just like...
Does Microsoft even do anything with cloud gaming?
XPass. Yeah.
They do a lot, actually.
XPass, I don't know.
It's if you have an...
You can play almost any game on like your web browser or wherever through Xbox Cloud Gaming.
I mean, but is it worth it to do that? Like...
It never is when you play on cloud gaming.
That's what I mean. So, like,
they
who
have
cares?
a pretty good service.
You know? Like...
It doesn't matter because Sony has the same shit and they're just like, look, this shit's... It's not as big a deal as you're making it out to be.
That's what I'm saying. No,
doesn't matter.
Nobody who plays games does plays games seriously, does cloud gaming. Like,
so all of you out there that are cloud gaming listening to us,
are not
you're not serious gamers.
There's probably some people out there
I don't think
you know
they
what
can do.
I mean, come on.
I know.
If you're playing on a mobile device...
Not mobile.
Actually, you would be surprised. Some countries, like, that's their primary gaming. And,
really?
Yeah, one of the things that I actually heard when I worked at a previous company was a coworker in India. Like, their big thing, wherever they lived at, their big thing was playing Modern Warfare on mobile, like a mobile device.
Huh.
I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
I've
but
never
like they don't
Modern
have
Warfare,
they didn't have. Well, they didn't have like gaming on computers and stuff or whatever. Like for whatever reason, that's not what they did.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting.
It's one of those things.
Is Modern Warfare a shoot 'em up
gaming
game?
is cloud gaming is not a good solution for anybody that's addicted to 60 frames a second. So
yeah, like
for sure.
That's the
anyway.
thing
There's talk that that's going to be lifted or whatever. So. Do we want to dive into this? The last bit of the 10.15?
What is...
Do it.
Oh.
There's a new spec for Drakthir.
Paladins.
Nope, the augmentation class. Even though I'm pretty sure Ian said, no, there's no third spec coming. There's no...
He said in one specific patch.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I was say he did didn't he do the neither confirm or deny?
No spec in 10.1.
Yeah, okay. So he said no spec in 10.1.
Yes.
So
yeah.
It's an augmentation spec. It is a damage spec. It is favoring black and bronze magic as opposed to the other ones that do some of the other flights. So basically it's like your bard. They will have abilities that they can directly use to amplify other players. They'll have passive ones and stuff like that. They'll have stuff where when they do damage, it does something. So we're going to see how this works. It says, that their damage output is different. They're considered force multipliers, which increases the group's capabilities.
Really interesting to set this kind of precedent at this point. It would be it's going to be really good for the game, but it's going to be challenging as hell.
It is. And it says, like the last thing they say in the post about it is it's a unique opportunity to delve into a play style never before seen in WoW. They're still working some of the aspects of this new paradigm. So they're working on new combat log hooks and other stuff so that you can measure the performance. And they give some examples of some of the abilities and some of the stuff. It's like one of them was blistering scales. They can protect an ally with explosive dragon scales, increasing their armor by a percentage of their own. And then it says melee attacks against that person will cause the scales to explode, dealing volcanic damage to the enemies near them. So why it's not fire and it's volcanic, that's not a fucking type of damage. I don't know what the fuck that is. But it's like they can buff the tank basically so that as they're taking hits, it does a little bit of AoE splash damage kind of stuff.
That's so I love it. I love it because it feels closer to that Shadow Priest feeling again.
Yeah, I miss old school Shadow Priest.
So the fact
Shadow
is,
Priest
like, they
now.
had this shit in the game and they didn't really treat it well.
No, they had it in the game. Freaking BC Shadow Priest was the best Shadow Priest. Freaking with your mana regen. You were a mana battery. It was awesome.
Not anything I experienced, unfortunately.
That was my main class.
So
and it was good.
It is going to be interesting to see how this compares to taking this class versus a straight damage dealer. Well, you know what I mean? It's like, are they going to just be like way lower on the DPS, like direct damage?
Well, I would say, like, it definitely
They have
isn't going
to
to
be.
fit any other pattern that isn't going to be inclusive. That's for sure.
The problem that Jim and I were talking about earlier today is
I told her to save for this shit.
is that they're either going to be really good in order to let the casual people be successful at them, or they're going to be really, really bad because the top tier people are going to be really good at them, and they're going to make it so, can't have the top tier people be, really good at them because then they're going to be a needed class, right? If they're really good. So we can't have that because then everybody's going to need support in their thing. So
is it going to be something like the monk tank, though, more so? Where even though it's like, it's not needed in the same realm of what you're talking about, but at the same time, like, it's definitely the more complex tank class to master. Maybe not. I guess that's it's like not a lot of people play it, but it's not like it's blocking from people trying to be.
What I hope is that their direct damage output is offset by what they do in boosting everybody else.
I mean, it has to be though, right?
Like your teammates.
It has to be, right? And it's like if you take an augmenter.
But I hope the paradigm shifts, though, right? Like, because now I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jim. I apologize, but
I mean, I don't have a damn thing to say, so it's okay.
Well, but you're right, though. I would love to see the damage meter with the heals per second, and the damage per second, and the aggro bullshit change for once, right? And so if it means that now you have a character that's buffing everybody, and the overall DPS stays the same, but that character has a lower DPS, like, yes, let's break that bullshit ass, like...
It's gonna be extremely difficult, right? Because there might be, like, unexpected synergies with other specs in other classes that benefit too much.
Yes.
And so, like, the scales tip a little bit towards.
I get that. I hope it levels that playing field more, though, right? Like,
maybe it'll make Frost DKs actually worth taking and not off meta.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my point is, like, I hope it's not just that. Like,
yeah,
I definitely don't want
that they're going to be really bad because the top tier people are going to find a way to make them, the people who can play everything. You know what I mean? They're good players. They're gonna make them so good, and then Blizzard is gonna nerf them. But then the normal casual person is just gonna be like, well, crap, I can't even. So they'll be really good in like high keys, they're really good in like mythic rating, and then they'll be just shit for everybody else, and that feels shitty. And Blizzard does that all the time. They cater to the 1% that can do everything, and then they forget about everybody else. Everybody else apparently just likes to do story and LFR.
It will be interesting
it.
because, like, in the 5-man content, that's an odd balance to bring. And two,
go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, like, I think that again, I think this echoes like it's the fear that they just become a buff, and that's it. But I really don't think that's going to be their intention. That's my inner fear, but I definitely don't think that's their intention.
It's definitely not the intention, but the outcome is uncertain, right? Because it could very easily fall prey to all the concerns that everybody has. It's going to be required for high-end content because otherwise you're just not doing it. Or it's going to be mandatory to have 2 of them in a 10-man raid, 1 in each group kind of thing, you know?
Right. Well, that's the cool thing would be that, like, you actually don't have to do that calculation. You can just bring the people, right? And is what it is.
The problem is, though...
But that means that then the bosses aren't DPS checks anymore, right? They're not, you immediately lose when you do this thing wrong. All these things that we've talked about before, that means that it has to become that type of game.
So,
and I don't see that yet. So
what you're going to see, though, is you can't have everybody play it, right? You can't do a whole raid with that as your DPS. You probably can't do a raid with more than 1 or 2 of them. If you, like, at the base level of 10, right? Because any more than that, you're...
assuming that you're scaling everyone else, though, right? That's assuming that you'd be scaling everyone else.
Let's say, let's just talk 5-man group. You can only ever have 1, because if you have 2, do their buffs stack to the point? Can you buff an augmenter with an augmenter and increase their damage? You know what I mean? It's like there's gonna be a weird...
Oh my God, that would be cool.
Well, I mean, the thing is that the augmenter's direct damage is going to be not trash, but lower than direct damage dealers, which everybody should be expecting that it should be the expectation because they are a support class. They shouldn't be going in there doing,
you say they're a support class, but we still don't know what that means in this context of WoW.
But you can't have something come in that does as much damage as like the top 5 specs and buffs everybody else's specs. You can't have that. They're gonna have to be towards the bottom of the pack.
But I really hope they don't add some like weird ass modifier like, when you're in a group that's bigger than this, then you're a support class. And if you're not, you're just a regular dragon wannabe thing.
I don't think that's going to be the case, but...
I hope not, but like that would be like, okay, well, we're not actually changing any kind of paradigm. We're staying the same, and we're just working around it.
It is interesting to see this shift away from the Holy Trinity, because that's what this is. This isn't damage, heals, tank. This is damage, heals, tank, and support, right?
Right.
So now we have 4, and it's going to, I mean, Final Fantasy 14 has stuff like this, right? Don't they have some classes that kind of do something similar?
Yeah.
So hopefully they're looking at existing games out there that do something similar to this.
Does Final Fantasy have the core of the Holy Trinity?
You have a tank and a healer, and then DPS and support.
Tank, healer, DPS. I mean... Yes, the Bard is a support class, but it also does DPS.
Right, but is it lower overall kind of DPS than direct damage?
No, it's an actual DPS class with just some support abilities.
Okay, so it's not full support.
No.
Okay. So I don't know.
Whereas like a Bard in EverQuest back in the day was like literally just a support class.
Yeah, the problem with doing just full support classes is they have gone away from the group content stuff. And you need to be able to do the story by yourself, and not rely on other people. So
you have
to be able to, you have to be able to do damage as well, because otherwise you're not. Gonna get
Yeah.
through the
Like, well,
story.
in EverQuest's context, like you were just grinding mobs. So, like
yeah,
in the bard's case versus another, say like a druid, you could really only do one at a time, or you'd have to get into a group and grind with a group.
yeah,
Yeah, and I think.
But yeah, like
Yeah.
in this, that's what I'm saying. Like in this context, like obviously we can guess all day, but we really have no idea
It's
what they intend on this being.
it's one of those things where it's like it's an interesting concept. It's definitely an experiment, and if it works well, you may see other specs added to other classes that do similar things. So that way you have.
Well, I mean, they should just enhance shit like arms warriors to be better fitting in that scenario. Because I
Well-
don't think that would be such a bad thing.
Because then you can
That's
start.
what I'm saying. Like
getting
we
into,
say support class. I mean, I don't think support class immediately sounds like you do less damage, right? Like, you know, it could go a lot of different types of ways.
Sure,
So, like,
you
I think
can
we talked
have-
about the armed warrior
well,
before, but
you can get more into like a Dungeons and Dragons type thing, and even like D&D, like 4th edition, right? You have your commander roles, which their job isn't necessarily to do
the
a lot
leader
of
roles.
leader or whatever the ones that do where you, if something happens, you can have somebody move, or you can give other
The
people
leader,
other
yeah.
tasks. Yeah, you're kind of like controlling the battlefield while fighting, and like you get special abilities that allows other people to do things, right? Or so that's like a support class for other things, or you have the people that buff all the good guys, or you could have people that their whole concept is just massive debuffs on the enemies, kind of like like curses used to be. I mean, warlocks could only ever do one curse at a time on a thing, but like
But that curse was
like curse of tongues, right?
curse of tongues is awesome.
Slow their cast time.
Except for when it's cast on me, then it's less than awesome.
I am super excited about the potential.
Yes, there is a lot of
of-
potential here.
Well, I mean, just change the fucking like. Oh, you immediately lost this raid battle 9 minutes into the fight.
Yeah, that's
Change
annoying.
that, please.
Well-
Change that shit, please.
It's
And this type of playstyle would support that. I'm sorry, like
a little bit. I mean, it might. Again, if the tanks,
it's not gonna fit the fucking mythic world first bullshit. But
Oh, who
I don't
cares-
care
who
about
cares
that.
about that? I don't either. I just want to have fun and play these games, and not feel bad when shit goes south, right?
yeah,
If shit goes south, it's just like back in the day when you could change your like DKs, you could change into the tank spec or the presence, right? You had your blood frost and unholy presence, and you had different things. And if you switched into the tank presence, you could survive for a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think they should go back to that. That's very frustrating that they don't have that.
It's like right now, it's like I can kind of do it, but if it's like a fucking like raid boss, it's like I can't do much because in 1 or 2 hits I'm dead. So there's really not a lot there for the survivability. Whereas like in like Wrath and all that stuff, and maybe even Kata right after it, you could pop over to the presence, and then probably not Kata. I think they changed it by then. But like, let's say you only had like 10% health left on the boss. You could pop over there and just finish it off like the last 30 seconds and not have a wipe and still complete it. And it's kind of, you know what I mean? And that kind of allows you to not just like, oh, well, the tank's dead, better wipe it. Because how many times do we do that in raids? Like, well, the important people are dead and we don't have.
and that's
battle
not
reses.
fun. I don't care who the fuck you are. That is not fun.
No.
That is just the feeling of like working to solve a problem, or you know what I mean, achieve a small goal.
Yeah.
And the reality is that goal could be so much different than like, oh, we missed it, oh, we missed it, oh, we missed it, tweak, 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 and we did it. Yay.
Yeah.
Like
The
experience could be so much more epic than that.
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, they're changing the play style by adding a different spec and a different type of spec. So we'll see. We'll see how it works. It could either work really well, it could work really bad, and maybe what'll happen is it'll be bad, and then in the next expansion, the augmentation one will get changed to a different spec, kind of like when they changed combat to outlaw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They may end up just changing it to a straight damage spec and just moving on. You know, and say didn't work. You know, it's hard, but I think that it's good to see they're at least trying different things. You know, it's not stagnating. They're trying different things. So, I mean, that's at least you can see that, you know, without, you know, I don't know. I don't know.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, let it
They
happen.
are.
Look, what those fucking worst is going to happen if you try something like that out. Nothing bad's going to
People
happen.
are going to fucking hate it and they just be like, yeah, fuck Blizzard. And like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they say
my
that anyway.
sub.
There's a fucking podcast where like all you ever hear is people saying F Blizzard.
F
So
Blizzard.
they're out there.
Yeah, fuck that.
Oh yeah, it's this one. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
No. Well, all right. Well,
I feel
Dang
so
it, I
called
missed
out
it
right now.
again.
oh man, I'm gonna have to fucking find a way to disable that shit.
Why?
I don't know, it's fun. But anyway, this is probably a good point to go ahead and wrap things up. Thank you everybody for listening.
Thank you.
You know,
What?
quack.
Quack.
What?
All right. Thank you everybody for listening. You can check us out at facebook.com/server restart in. Shoot us a tweet at server_restart. Tell us what you think about your the new spec coming out for augmentation. You know, how do you feel
Are we
about
over the sniffing already?
the what?
I'm over this.
Oh yeah.
I'm not
Are we-
over it, but
What's the Niffin's accent? What do you hear? What is your regional here? Or oh Jesus.
What is your
fucking
locale representative? What does it sound like in your region of the world?
Yep.
Oh.
And it's like, hey yo, I'm sniffing here. All right, catch you guys later. Bye.
I. The clap.
Bye.
Uh,